Hi guys, welcome to our podcast Supposedly Adults, where we are four supposed adults sharing our quote-unquote youthful experiences.
Talking about the most random life topics.
Giving our thoughts that no one cares about.
And just trying to make life suck less.
That's right, so I'm Jensen.
I'm Melody.
This is Calvin.
And this is Lyris. And today's random question is, my dog is moving out. Help! Hi.
Hello.
Hey guys. Hey.
What's up?
Good seeing you again.
Okay, I actually have something prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Something very important that I want to announce is that it is almost 1 year since my baby puppy came to our home.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
I just want to
Really?
tell that to everyone.
It's only been a year. Wait.
Yes, it's only been a year. So basically, I'm fostering guide dog in training. So that's what my family has been doing for the past 2 years, I guess. And today is and this is our second puppy, who is called. He's actually not a puppy. I don't know why I keep calling him a puppy. He's a huge ass dog. Yeah, and then his name is Popcorn, and he's been in our house for a year already. So we're fostering guide dogs in training. So we're called the border family. So basically, we take them in, and then we take him to school every day, which is the cutest thing in the world. So you just like imagine us like packing their lunch and then like putting it in a bag and just like sending them off to school. It is really cute. It's exactly what you imagined. And then we do that, and then until they graduate and they become a real guide dog, and we send them off.
Nice. So you're like a parent or like
legit.
Patrons.
Pawrent.
No, okay, this shows that Calvin does not have a dog because it's called a pawrent.
A what?
Oh my god.
It's a pawrent,
Pawrent.
like a paw.
Okay,
A pawrent,
It's a
yeah.
So wait, that's not any better.
But what if I have like, let's say, a bat as a pet? Like a paw doesn't work then, right? You know what I mean?
bat.
You get all kinds.
No, but
Isn't it illegal?
Which is exactly why you should not have a bat as a pet. You should not have anything without paws as a
Wow.
pet.
True.
Wow. Discrimination. I felt like that's a discrimination. What if a fish? Fish is a pet, like a pet fish.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I can never see fishes being pets because I can play with them.
People
Like, what am I
play
gonna
with their
do
fish.
with the fish?
Exactly.
I've
How
seen
do they
it.
do it?
Yo, I can put my hands in, right? And then the
No,
fish
I don't
we
think you're
kind of
supposed
swim.
to do that.
across-
Really?
No.
I'm just
no.
gonna be real.
Calvin. That's very fishy.
So,
What, girl?
this is why
nah.
y'all are both like the older ones in the group because y'all make jokes like this.
Girl, nah, bro.
Okay, well. Anyways, tell me more about the guide dog thing. That sounds so cool. Let's divert the attention away from me. What's up with the guide dog?
Oh my god.
Well, I actually have a very interesting thing because I felt like, I don't know if it's the same for you, Larry. So for those who doesn't know, Popcorn is our second guide dog, right? So our first guide dog is actually Pasta, and they're from the same litter.
brothers.
Yeah, that's why their names all start with a P, and they're all food. So we have
They're all-
Pepper, we
Pat
have
pizza.
Just to clarify, we do
pancake.
not eat dogs, okay?
Bro.
that is true.
We
We
know,
do
we
not
know,
eat
we
dogs. Yeah, but then Pasta is kind of like our first child, so to speak. So he was here for a lot shorter, for only 4 months before he graduated. I guess Popcorn is the dumber sibling of the two.
Yeah.
But then
Oh,
it's
nice.
taking him longer
No,
to
no
graduate.
favoritism at all.
No, but I feel like I don't know if it's the same for you, Lyris, because I feel like my attachment towards Pasta was a lot stronger. So I don't know. No offense to you, second
Wow,
child.
I think this is very
You're the
only
pointed.
second
I think
child
what
in
she's
this
saying
group.
is very pointed to personal attack. Just saying.
No, but legit though, like, oh my god, Pasta, I don't know, whatever, did a paw. Or, oh, Pasta's eating this, Pasta's playing fetch, you know? I would want to take photos. I have so many more photos of
Yeah.
Pasta than of Popcorn just because I've seen this before. So I don't know if this is just a me thing.
Yeah, but also as the second child, we are so much more lenient towards Popcorn than Pasta though. Right?
Oh, that is
Pasta was
true.
freaking out about everything. We're like, oh my god, he didn't, oh my god. And then now we're like, yeah, whatever, he's just walking, it's fine, it's gonna be fine. Like, we're so chill now.
I'm getting
It's
good
true.
or bad.
Like literally when No, because when Pasta had like diarrhea, we were freaking out and taking photos, and we're like,
Not
I don't know what to
even diarrhea.
do.
He's
But
like
then when
coughing,
Popcorn,
and we're like, oh my god, should we take him to the hospital? What should we do? Is she dying? Oh my god, oh my god.
oh my god, I was so scared. I remember there was one time he was choking on water or something, and we literally thought he was gonna
Yeah.
die.
This podcast
I was
is showing
like,
that you
oh,
guys
don't
are
do that.
terrible parents or whatever.
I mean, he graduated, so I think we're cool.
Oh my god, okay.
Felt like it's the actual kid though. Felt like that dog is actually your kid. This is kind of funny. That's kind of cool.
No, it does feel like that too, because with pasta, I actually felt what my mom was feeling, because sometimes I would be out all day and I'd miss him so much. I would literally walk faster just so that I can come back, or I'd leave dinner parties earlier just so that I can come back and see pasta. And then I also felt like when he's away, so they sometimes go on sleepovers at their
Sleepovers.
teachers for training,
Cute,
and
right?
I'd be like, dude, why are you not home? How can you just go sleep over at people's? And I would feel so attached to them. Yeah.
Melody just shared something very beautiful about parenting, you know, unconditional love. All I got was the crazy, like, possessive mother stuff. Judgmental stuff.
mother.
My mom is always judging us for like having like, she's always like, why are your clothes like, why is it so raggedy, why are there holes in your pants?
Oh, or stuff like, you cannot dress. Are you serious? Are you gonna dress like this to the dinner?
Yeah. And
stuff
I'm like,
that.
I'm always like, who cares? Like, I'll do whatever I want. Like, I'm just trying to be whatever. But now I understand, because that one time we were taking pasta for a walk, and then I guess it was really hot, and then he had like drools all over his face, and it like
Yeah,
went
what?
around. Yeah. And no, it went around circles around his snoot, like 3 rounds. So he has like,
Circles?
imagine this, went in circles.
No, it's a thing. It's a thing. So their drool is so thick that whenever
Wow.
they move their head, it kind of goes
goes around. So
around.
like imagine there's like 3 rounds of like saliva like around his
How
snoot.
long does it have to be? Like,
so
yo,
weird,
3
okay.
rounds.
Right? I know. Isn't it crazy?
That
It
is
like goes
crazy.
right. And then there's like three rounds, and I'm like, oh my god, he looks like terrible. And I'm like, do you have tissue? We have to like wipe it off. And my sister's like, dude, I don't have tissue. He's like, fine, whatever, just let him walk. He's a dog, doesn't matter. I'm like, no, what would other people think? They'll think that we're terrible parents. They're like, look at that poor hobo dog, just like their parents just letting him walk around with a face full of saliva. And I'm like, this is not okay. Like, now I understand why my mom cares so much, because how we
Yo,
look like,
now that you reminded of
Yeah.
me, I remember what you did. We didn't have tissue, and you just went barehanded.
no,
and wiped
I used
off
a
his
leaf or
drool.
something. I think I took it like I took a leaf and just like tried to, and then Pasta was so confused because was like, what's happening? But yeah,
like,
now
oh,
I
what
get
is
it,
this?
because it's like what the kid looks like kind of like is a reflection of who I am as a parent. So now I
Fair.
get it.
Oh, that's interesting though. That's interesting though, because I don't know. I guess I'm like the more YOLO parent then. I'm not as judgmental. as
Wow.
you
Wow.
Going back
but-
to the first episode, I'm attached.
No, but the whole it's really interesting what you said, because you felt like the dog is a representation of you, right? Then do you feel like he's almost like an extension of you? Do you think parents feel that way with their kids too? Like, you represent me
Yes.
because I guess I made you.
Yeah,
I
I think that's very
Literally.
like typical like Chinese girl stuff. Here we go again. Calvin, we should have like a count of like how many.
Oh no,
inappropriate
like
jokes
I
Calvin-
made you, as in I made
just
who you
sounds
are. That's
so-
what I meant. What are you guys
Yeah,
thinking?
yeah.
It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, I
tell
do-
us how your mom made you. Sorry, please.
Girl, stop! My face like dropped.
Oh.
My face cracked for a second. No, I think that's like very typical Chinese, right? Like to like how like what will other people think, blah blah. I don't know. Do you guys have the same feeling, Jensen? I can't be the only one who has that feeling. Like, am I like a horrible parent? Just because you
Wait, if you're
have a
talking
dog
about
too.
okay, no, because for me, like you're talking about a dog context. I guess mine it's a different situation. Like for those who don't know, I do have a dog, but mine, like unlike a guide dog, mine is like purely for myself, and it's just like a small little Chihuahua, which like I think she's 13 years old right now, which is really really old. But she doesn't like going out, so I don't really have that problem. Yeah, I don't really have the problem of I guess being embarrassed for it. Like for me, it's just I see like I guess it's just an opposing opinion where I feel like it's just a relationship between me and my dog. But like whatever my dog does, doesn't really yeah, it doesn't really affect my image, I suppose. It's just my dog. Yeah,
Right.
as like if I'm not if I'm not mistreating her, I think it's absolutely fine. I guess like that's the difference in parenting styles.
Right.
But like,
Right. No, but Jansen, do you actually walk Fafa?
yeah, sometimes. But another difficulty, okay, so like another thing which I guess I can kind of relate to what you guys are saying about like your dog situation is that because your dogs are guide dogs, so you guys have to give them away after how long? A year? 6
A
months?
year or so.
Yeah, so like
Oh,
the
that's
different
it,
dogs
it's
you
a
have.
year.
Yeah, but for mine, it's like I got my dog, I think 2 or 3 years before I moved to Singapore to study. So the painful part was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize that. Because usually when you get a dog, like it's that commitment and whatnot. But I didn't realize that, oh, I can't be with her as much as I want to, mostly because I have to study. So like, it's like when I'm visiting my parents every time I come back. So I have to, yeah, I'll like one of the main factors of coming back to Hong Kong from Singapore is to see my dog because like my parents can fly there, it's fine, but like my dog can't fly there, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I guess that's like that's that one thing where like I feel, oh shit, like the parental instinct, or like I don't know, I always treat my dog as like more of a sibling than a dog. So it's more like, oh, I want to like go. It's a mix of both. It's weird. It's just having a pet. It's weird. I don't know what am I to the dog.
So
It brings out the weird part
Yeah,
of it.
am I a parent? Am I a sibling? Am I like your owner?
right?
Like,
I
yeah.
know it changes.
Mhm.
No, but like when you feel bad, do you like feel bad because you feel like, oh, I should be taking care of you more than I should take care of you more, or is it more like I just miss them, or is it like a responsibility thing?
For me, I guess it's a bit of both, but like, maybe it's cause like the role's there's definitely not like a parental role for me. So like, I think the majority of the feeling is still more of like I miss them, and it's like I kind of I kind of told my parents that I would take the responsibility of taking care of them, but like they understand. Like at the end of the day, it's not really like we never really foresaw. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really like thought like I'll be going abroad to study so early on.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's different for us, Liz, because we're actually the caretaker of Popcorn, right? Because I remember today, so we were prepping to take him to the beach today. Literally took us half an hour to pack his bag because we're like, oh, we should bring a towel for him to dry him off. What if he gets cold later? Or like, oh, do we have enough poop bag? Should we pack him some snacks? Are we gonna come back in time for dinner? Should we bring his dinner out? Do we have enough drinking water for him because it's gonna be hot? Like literally we have like where we actually take on the parent
that's true.
role. So I think it's slightly
Yeah, and I
different
think
in
it's
that way.
because our mom is full on taking like she is embracing the grandmother role, like the typical Chinese grandmother who doesn't give a crap about anything. They're just like, I'll give you candies and don't tell your mom. Like she's
With
full
your
on.
mom.
My mom is embracing that grandmother role of
Oh,
just
Lord.
like just don't tell your mom, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's very intense. Now I really like. I never really think that I would have kids, but now I'm like more like, ugh.
You
I
don't want
don't
kids?
think
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I'm definitely rethinking
Really?
it, whether I could do the commitment. No, I just feel like you need to be completely ready to do that because it's a huge commitment. Like all of your weekends are dedicated to that dog because I felt I would feel bad if I don't spend enough time with the dog. So I feel like this is part of my responsibility now that I need to take him out to the park or whatnot. And having a big dog is always a huge trip. So it's not like I could go down and just take a walk. I actually need to drive to a proper dog park that is big enough for him to run around. So I don't know, maybe that's where the attachment comes in though. But what were you like when oh, Calvin, you had dogs too, right? When you were younger?
Oh, but it was like Jensen though. I left so early, so for me, and I'm a horrible person. I never really get that attached to them. Like when I got back, when I got back from Hong Kong, like just to visit my parents and all that. Yeah, I'll take care of the dogs and all that. But then I was never like crazy attached. I don't know. I was never really attached to a pet or person because I'm a horrible person. So I don't really know.
No, that
But
doesn't.
actually, is that a good thing, TBH? Because
I-
sometimes attachment could be very hard.
Yeah.
Because because like whenever we have to have the like, because when we get the guide dog, we know that they're gonna leave very soon in like a few months. So we're like always telling ourselves that we should not get too attached. And even the trainer, like by the end of it, they're like, for this week, because like the last week that they're here with us, the teacher was kind of like, this week try not to get too attached, try not to be too close with them.
Oh, so
Try to, like,
interesting. Okay.
You're not allowed to hug
so,
them.
so for the last few weeks, because they're like, because they have to move to a new home soon, so for these few weeks try to be like less close with them,
More distant.
try to ignore them a bit, and then so the
They
dogs
won't have that
don't
sense of
feel,
attachment to you.
so the dog could have like an easier transition to a new home.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
That
it
is
is
so
so
sad though. Yeah, like can you
Yeah.
imagine if like I'm thinking from a dog perspective, right? Like you give them so much love, but then towards the end, all of a sudden like, oh yeah,
Suddenly,
no,
what
I don't
happened?
love you anymore.
I
And then like,
know.
oh, and then next thing I know, I'm in a new place. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
these people just abandoned me. Like that's how I would feel. Like I
Yeah.
wonder how past that we feel. Like your first dog. Like I wonder. Like I don't know. It's so
Yeah.
weird. It's
We cried so
Oh,
much.
And
no.
also,
last
literally,
day.
no one cared. Like, no one followed that rule because everyone's just like hugging and kissing him, like, bye, we're gonna miss you so much.
Yeah, and we also threw like a send away party
Yeah.
for Pasta.
Oh,
So
wow,
we invited
really?
everybody who cared about Pasta to
Yeah.
our home. And then literally we kept him up. He also went to school that day, so he was really drained already. And then we kept him up until like 1 a.m. So
Every-
the next day when we sent him in, he was kind of just not there. He's kind of just really tired. And the trainer, the principal of the school was like,
Big,
late night last night, right? It was so awkward because we're not supposed to do
that's
that.
so funny. So they can tell from a dog. Like they can tell that the dog.
because
Oh
they're
wow.
Tell, yeah.
Really?
They're saying dogs can smell your emotions. Like your emotions come in a form of a smell for the dog. So they can smell whether you're sad or they can smell whether you're happy and whatnot.
Lol, I think my dog has lost that ability because I feel like the only thing she smells is tired.
No, but like back to I think it's kind of interesting to like the question of like, is it actually better to not get attached to things, people, pets, or anything so that you won't get disappointed or get sad when you lose them?
It's a very interesting question, but like the way I see the situation of you two, it's a very noble thing that what you guys are kind of sacrificing your time and your energy and your effort and your affection to this animal or like this other, let's just say if you're raising a child as well to another person. But it's also really similar to like how parents expect it. Okay, I guess there's a difference between how parents are raised like in Asian cultures versus Western cultures, but the idea is like you're raising a child in this environment, and then like at a certain age they should be ready enough to become independent, to like provide for society in whatever capacity. It's really similar to what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
right? In a very
Yeah.
condensed amount of time, of course.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
I totally I can relate to that a lot. It's just because like ever since so I moved from again I grew up in Hong Kong, but I moved to Canada for school, right? But then like for the longest time because of that experience, it makes me realize how much my parents love me, because I realized that you just be able to let your kids go somewhere else so that he can pursue his dream or pursue higher education.
Yeah.
It's such a difficult thing because parents always want their kids to be around so they can see them,
Yeah.
they can take care of them, and yet just knowing that, okay, you know what, by letting my son go to Canada so that he have better education, better future, I'm willing to sacrifice my time with him so that he can do that. Like that is the greatest form of love, like to me. So, but then I don't know, it's just really hard because you're saying like whether it's good to attach or not, right? I felt like obviously they're attached to me. I hope so. I hope my parents love me. I think they do. Right? No, but and yet
Hate to break it to you.
wait, I don't know. Yo, maybe that's why they sent me away. No, but
okay.
so you
Wait,
know
you
what?
were
I'll
saying?
just stick to my own version. I think it's a much more
I
beautiful
think there are
story. They
cheaper
love
and
me. That's why
easier
they send
ways
me
to
away.
send you away than so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
maybe,
they love
maybe.
you. I think they love you.
But yeah, I was just saying like how I think there's so many ways of showing love. Like obviously attaching someone is love, but then also being able to let the person go so that they have a better future is also love. Like in a way, to me, that's even like a higher form. So, but I don't know. Like that's all I can say. Like, but again, I obviously I'm not a parent, and I'm not attached to my pets like you do. So I don't really know how a parent thinks. So yeah.
Yeah, I personally do feel like attachment is the source of all negative feelings in your life, in a way. Because I feel like, okay, let's say,
Right.
if this thing brings you joy or happiness, you don't have to necessarily be attached to it to feel that. I guess being attached to it, I don't know, might increase the percentage of that, but then you will still feel happy and whatnot. But then it's always the attachment that causes the disappointment, because one, you have expectations now, if I give you food, you should be thankful now, popcorn, but you don't, then I'm disappointed, right? That's one. Sorry, I sound like a crazy parent.
No, we
now.
do that,
But then let's say yeah, you have expectations now, right? Or let's say, when he goes, or when, let's say, your dog dies or passes, then you feel sad and devastated. So that also comes in a form of attachment. So I have like I'm gonna apologize to you again, Loris.
Why you
But
always
for the
attacking
longest
me?
time, I feel like this also extends to other stuff. Like a very easy way for me to think about this would be to personal belongings, because I remember younger, I mean, I kind of still do this. Okay, for all siblings out there, you should be able to relate if you're the same gender, is
Clothes?
of your younger sibling stealing your clothes. Like sometimes she would still be wearing my clothes today, and I'd be like, "Yo, why are you wearing my clothes?" or I'd make a big thing out of it. So I feel like this is like the epitome of attachment, because you feel like this thing belongs to me, and that's why. You should not touch it, or you need my permission to touch it.
And you made it a
or
huge
whatnot.
thing. You called me out on Facebook, and then our parents saw it, and then it is a huge thing, because
Yo, you know how much trouble
she
I
got
got?
into so much trouble. Look, that status got viral, quote unquote. Like so many
Wait.
likes from our friends, not actual viral, but within our friend group.
Okay,
a
yeah, that
lot
makes
of
more
people
sense.
liked it, and people think it's really funny. But my parents saw it, and then they called her, my mom called her into her room and be like, "Why do you have to do that in public? You can't show other people that you guys are fighting or whatnot." So that's
Yeah.
I agree with your mom.
but this is going back to the past, I think, because you're like, what would other people think? I'm like, who cares? Everyone fight.
Yeah, my dad also commented and was like,
It's not very nice.
you guys should keep things between you two,
Ooh.
between the sisters, and not show it.
So
So
much
my
tea.
post was
It
supposedly,
was
okay,
fun.
half of me was very angry, but half of it was also just to be
It was a
funny.
joke.
Because I basically just posted on her wall, I was like, stop stealing my clothes.
Lol.
or I'll
Yeah.
kill you. And then okay, so a lot of things. So my dad commented, my mom dragged me into a room and lectured me. My
There's
grandma
my
was
living
really
room.
upset
It was
about
a-
this, and then my helper yelled at me. She was like, "Why do you
It
have
was
to
the
do
whole
that? That's not
thing.
cool."
I felt-
And I'm like, "Okay, chill, yo, guys."
I felt really bad because I'm like, I
That's
don't
so
know.
funny. But
funny,
if I
though.
saw it though, it would just be a joke. I thought just
It is a
banter
joke.
between.
It's
yeah,
an okay
yeah.
boomer moment. Okay, call
Oh.
back.
Wow.
Anyway,
That's really
let's
funny.
go back to the actual topic. Sorry.
That's really
No, essentially, that's what I'm saying, right? I feel like there's always this attachment, because I feel like, okay, if I lost my phone, I'd be really upset, because it's I feel like it's something that is part of me that I lost, right? So I guess that extends to different things.
No,
too.
I agree. I totally agree. Like as soon as you put a label on, let's say, oh, it's my clothes or my phone, like or my siblings, or all that, right? So that part, I totally agree with it. As long as you put yourself label certain things as your own property, then that'll be kind of that'll definitely have all the negative, I guess, connotations to the attachment piece of it. It's just because I felt like if you always, let's say you, I guess one of the examples I can give is I remember I was working in a lab, and then one guy, it was his last day, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm so happy, I'm gonna go to Japan because I'm gonna go to Japan doing exchange and all that, right?" So I remember, maybe I'm heartless, but I remember everybody in the lab, there's 5 of us, right? So this guy's gonna leave his last day, and everybody's crying, it was kind of sad and all that, right? I kind of missed him quite a bit because he was a great guy. And to me, I was like, oh, cool. I was just so happy. I was just happy that he's leaving. Not happy that he's leaving now.
Yeah, we need to
I was
phrase
just
it
happy.
properly.
No. Like, that's what I meant.
Happy
like,
for him? Okay.
happy for him, like, because he's
Okay.
going to Japan. He was so excited, even talking about it the entire time. And he's a white dude, just can go to Japan and experience different culture. Like, he was so
they
excited,
love that.
right?
Oh, I'm
right?
sure he's very
And I
excited.
bet he loves all the attentions there. That's why. No, but that's why I was actually genuinely happy for him. But everybody was so sad and missing him. So I was like, well, but if you think about from his perspective, it's a great thing. That's why, like, I don't know. Like, to me, I don't know. I guess my point is, I do think of it as his friend, but if I think from his perspective, then I'll always be happy for him instead of being sad for myself. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, that's an interesting thought, right? You actually put it. It's so. If I feel sad that something happened, then I'm thinking from my perspective. But that is only because when something good is happening, right? What if, let's say, a person close to me passes away? You know, I can't possibly feel like, okay, I guess
That's
you
true. I
could
see
do
what
that.
you
So
mean,
let's say
yeah.
if that person is suffering from long-term illness, you know, you're happy that he's relieved now.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to go through the sufferings anymore. But I feel like the same logic doesn't apply
To everything.
anymore.
it doesn't.
Like, if,
You're
let's say,
absolutely
like a
right.
close person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really a hard thing. That's why life sucks, and we try to talk about it. I'm like, life sucks less. I'm just trying to do what is it? What is that term?
Trying to
Try
make life suck less. That's my line.
Yes, trying to make life suck less. Do a quick plug. No, but I guess to that, then if we always know that the person's gonna leave or things are gonna lose, right? Then maybe we just need to change our mindsets. Just always expect that, oh, that's gonna lose any day, and we just need to really cherish that. Just really want to cherish every moment that we have with that person or that thing, you know. It's just because things always happen and things always change, constantly changing.
Yeah, I think going back to what Lyris said earlier, right? Then does that mean that you think not being attached is the right way to go then? Because it feels like attachment brings so much trouble. So not being attached to anything, then that's kind of the solution to all things.
I don't know.
Yeah, for me, I'm still struggling with like whether attachment is a source of all problems. I think like in a very spiritual way, and very like philosophical way, it makes sense. But at the same time, it like when we're living in this society, when like we tend to become very possessive and materialistic, it's very easy to forget that mindset. And the word attachment itself, there's also a spectrum, I suppose. But I think what helps me to, so I can't really like say, like when we say attachment to whoever's listening, like people have different connotations about like how much are you attached. Am I just saying like this is mine, or am I saying like, oh my god, this is mine forever? Which is, there is a difference. And I think what we are talking about right now is like that possessiveness to an extreme where like you can't even, you aren't even comfortable parting ways with whatever you're talking about, be it a dog or be it a human, be it relative or object, whatever. I think for me, like the easiest way to look at it, it's more about like you can be attached. I think for those who are like it's, I'm saying this for those who are having difficulties or like find it uncomfortable to use that word, but I'm saying like it's okay to have that attachment, but like the most important thing is like you need to know how to let it go. Yeah.
Hey, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. I think to me, to being attached, because let's say let's say my parents, right? I know one day they're gonna go, oh, maybe I'll die first. I don't know. But anyways, the point is,
Touch wood,
I-
touch wood,
I-
touch wood.
Too real. Go back.
I was just saying, like, I will love them wholeheartedly. I will love them with all my heart, right? Because I know they're my parents. That's a form of attachment, right? But to your point, I agree. But I don't know. I think like to love something, you need to like fully attach to that. But then to your point, it's definitely to be able to let go. Like you can go all in, and then when it ends, you just need to let go. So because of that, you know there's always an end. That's why you always cherish it. That's why you always go
Yeah.
all in. I think that's the good kind of attachment. And it's also gonna be sad, but the fact that you're sad because you love that person so much. But then to be able to let go at the end, I think is the most important thing to me.
Yeah. And I really like what Jansen said too about the period the period of what you think
We're like
that
stumbling on
attachment
our
lasts.
words. It's
Like,
so fuck.
Do you feel like do you feel like this is under your possession, for now at this moment, or is this thing under your possession forever? I think that is a very smart way to put it, because everything changes and nothing is constant. So things could be changing every second of the day. So the fact that you're aware that you're not, it's impossible. It's just physically impossible for you to own a thing forever. So just that alone, it would help you, let go or not be as attached.
Yeah, I think just like a story to kind of tie everything together as well. It's also about my dog. So when I left for Singapore, obviously my parents had to take care of it. Left for Singapore to study, obviously I had to, my dog still has to be taken care of. And my parents are okay, but definitely I was the one who, I would say, played with my dog more, interacted with my dog. So the difficulty is my parents, they're not super dog people. They're just oh, she's there, she's cute, but it's not as it's not how do I say this politely? But
So
it's
they're
just
not
it's
dodgy
not.
people. That's what
It's
you're
just
saying.
not as. It's not. Okay, so it's just not.
Hi.
Bring it back. They're just not as affectionate as to the dog as I am. I would say. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, of
but
course.
so
Of
the
course.
difficulty I had was when I was away. Then one of my mom's friend, she offered to help take care of the dog, and I was very resistant to the idea at the start. Because I still felt the dog, it's there was this fear that if I let my dog my dog's name is Fafa, by the way. So if I let Fafa get taken care of by someone else, will she not love me as much
Right,
anymore when
I
I come
know,
back?
I get
Will she
you.
forget about me? Because I don't know how does that brain of her, her small brain works, but there's that fear. You never really know. Plus as a dog, you can't really talk to them to know how you feel.
Yeah.
So there's that that sense of attachment, or that relationship. You're not too sure whether it goes south. You're not too sure how will it turn out. So when after a while, I think my mom just didn't really give a shit about me, which is what she did, which is the right thing about she didn't really care about I'm putting it really bluntly, but she didn't really care about how I was so resistant on it. At the end of the day, I was away, and another person was able to take care of the dog much better than they ever could. So ultimately, I still made the right decision. I'm still with my dog whenever, and when I come back, my dog still stays with me, and I still play with her and all that. But it's just that yeah, I guess that's that release that I had to overcome to feel someone else is able to take care of something I loved. That kind of idea. Yeah, I still get emotional talking about it.
I get you, man. Yeah, I think it's.
Sure, yeah.
I think it's a really hard thing to balance, and I think that's kind of
Right.
what everyone is kind of trying to do. Because every single love song or every single basic girls, status with my story, they're what's the point of love if it's gonna end or whatever, that kind.
Oh, didn't we just hear a song like that
chasing
today?
paper. It's
Nurse?
kind of should I just keep
Oh,
going
Chasing
even though it's
Pavements,
not
yes.
gonna lead anywhere,
I love
something
that song.
right? Which is something that's really hard, honestly, because it's rationally, it's easy for us to be oh, we should go all in, but then be okay with letting it go. But in reality, we all know that it is the hardest thing to do. But it's also really sad too, because some people are also, I also hear someone saying that if you don't get sad when something ends, doesn't mean you don't care about it, or so you're gonna live your whole life not caring about anything. That isn't it, that also kind of sad. So I guess but I think what Calvin said really makes sense. It's because you know that it's gonna end, that's why you should cherish it even more, which is so hard to do, honestly. It's impossible to do. I can never do it. I say it, but I still cry my eyes out all the time.
But to cherish it more is really hard to do, or really hard to do to just.
It's I think it's I think, okay, have you guys watched The Good Place? I think that sums up human beings. The thing, it's every.
Don't spoil
Yeah,
Don't
what
spoil
are you doing? What are you
No,
doing?
but I have a question. No,
I'm
don't
not
spoil
spoiling.
it. Don't,
It's just
no.
they're saying that
Okay.
every single human is just a little bit sad because you know that you're gonna die, right? Let's not talk about anything. Even yourself, you are gonna die someday, So it's everyone is a little sad because knowing that that's what's gonna happen. So I think.
I'm dying for it to happen.
Okay,
Thank you for listening, everyone.
No, okay.
I think this
No,
is
No, but I have one last thing that I want to discuss. Because I feel like, oh crap, what was it?
Now I'm dying to know.
Stop! The first time was not funny. The second time was gonna be funnier.
If I can throw something through the screen.
I remember. Okay, let's say going back to what Jansen said, right? So let's say if you give Fafa to somebody else, and let's say which dogs are great, they don't do that. But let's say Fafa does forget about
Pastor
you,
forgot about
and
us.
Fafa does. Yeah, so let's say Fafa does, love you less because of that, then would it make you feel like, oh, then I don't want to care I don't want to spend as much time with Fafa again? Because I feel like that is where the selfishness comes in and the ego comes in too, right? Because if I feel like, if I'm going to put in all these effort into Popcorn and Popcorn's not going to remember me afterwards, then do I still want to do that?
Exactly.
So I think that is also one of the hard parts about this.
Hashtag love is conditional. That's why parents' love is the greatest love of all. It's unconditional. I feel like this is why.
That's true. That's true.
Right? Yeah. And I don't know how does a dog shows you that they love you, because you can have a very friendly dog and they wave their tails to everybody. You'll never feel special around them.
I know when they love you, when they sit on you, when they put their butt on your lap. That's when they really love you.
Oh really?
Oh,
Because they can't see their
I
back
don't know.
and they're trusting you with it. No, but I know Popcorn loves me because every time he would be, all static, so his tail is going to be pointing down. Every time I kiss him, he's going to start wagging. And then if he stops wagging, I'm going to kiss him again, and then he's going to start wagging again. So that's how I know he loves me. So I guess in conclusion, wrapping all these up, dogs are the best, and don't invest on human beings, just invest on dogs. They love you.
What a great message. Yeah, just like, you know what, we don't need to get married or start a family. Why do we bother?
Why bother, man?
Why bother with these commitments?
Yes, I work hard so that my dog can get a better life. Alright, cool. Are you happier now, Laris, about this? I don't know, I'll probably still cry
I will
when Popcorn goes.
cry like crazy, but I still cherish. I'm looking at him sleep right now. I'm just gonna stand here for 15 minutes just looking at him. Anyway.
Yeah, sometimes when he snores really loudly, it gets me for sure. Anyway, I'm sidetracking now. Alright, cool. Have a good night, guys, I guess.
See you
All right.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
See you.